Hey, Sam! I put the papers you need to complete on your desk.
What? Alan?
The data you need is in the USB I put on your desk with the papers, so continue the work. It's on a big deal we're making with A Corporations.
But I was going to go straight home after work today.
Huh?
I'm going to go straight home after I have a meeting with some of our clients. That's what's written on the schedule board of our department, right? Didn't you read it?
What? Really? It said that on the schedule board?
Besides, the papers regarding the deal we're making with A Corporations is your work, isn't it, Alan? Based on the date, you should already be halfway done with the project. Which means that I can't just pick up where you left off without any prior knowledge.
Then don't go home and stay at the office.
Huh?
As the son of the senior managing director, I'm giving you work to do. Which means that taking care of these papers is now your job.
Who you are doesn't matter when it comes to your job. Besides, you shouldn't be taking advantage of your connections like that in the first place.
Shut up and just do the work, will you?
Just because Alice, who you always used to push your work on, has been hospitalized because of an accident, and I'm the only person that entered this company at the same time as him, doesn't mean that you can just push your work on me like you did to him. Don't think you can take advantage of me, please. The meeting with our clients is about to begin, so excuse me.
Hey, Sam! Come back here!
Good afternoon, Sam. Sorry for having to leave work so suddenly because I was hospitalized.
Good evening, Alice. I heard that you were injured. Is it okay for you to be texting like this?
Yes, I was. But it's my feet that were injured and my hands are fine. So it isn't a problem if I'm texting like this.
I see.
If everything heals as it should, then I should be able to leave the hospital in 1 month.
I see. 1 month. I was thinking about visiting you in the hospital on my way home from work tomorrow. Is that alright with you?
Yes, I would be glad to see you. On the other hand, though...
What? Is there something wrong?
Is Alan doing anything to you?
What do you mean, doing anything to me?
You know, pushing all of his work on you and stuff?
Oh, so that's what you're talking about. He tried to push his work on a deal with A Corporations on me just yesterday. But it was right before a meeting with some clients of ours. I was planning on going home right after the meeting was over, so I just ignored him and left.
You what? I would have never been able to do that. Good for you, Sam.
Alan would always push his work on A Corporations on you, right, Alice?
What? You knew about that?
To be honest, I thought such complicated matters like the deal with A Corporations were beyond the capabilities of a man like Alan. But still, he seemed to be getting the work done day after day. Which must mean that he's using his connections as the son of the senior director manager to make someone else to do the work. And make it as if he's the one who did it. That's what I guessed. I then began to examine Alan's actions more carefully, which is when I noticed that you were the one he was taking advantage of, Alice. Is what I'm saying wrong?
No, it's exactly as you described it. Alan's the son of the senior director manager, right? As you know, I too got into this company partly thanks to a few connections of my own.
Oh, that's right. Your aunt was the head of the Osaka department of the company, right?
Yup.
So you're worried that if you rebel against Alan, it'll have bad effects on your aunt as well.
Yup, it's basically that. Helen is threatening something along those lines, too. I can't ask my aunt or the senior director manager about it as well, for fear as to what might happen.
I see. So he's taking advantage of the fact that his father outranks your aunt in this company.
It looks like I've already bothered you by being hospitalized like this. I truly am sorry.
I'm fine. I don't have any sort of connections in this company that I could use as a shield anyways.
Well, I guess so. But isn't that a weakness in and of itself? Well, it probably still means that I'll be causing you trouble until I can get back into the office.
Oh, I see. You can't see the report that was sent to the company chat today because you're currently hospitalized. Right, Alice?
What? Did something happen?
Oh, it's almost time for the lights in the hospital to be turned off, right?
Oh, you're right. I didn't notice.
I'll explain it to you in detail tomorrow when I visit you.
Alright, I got it.
Take care of yourself then. Good night.
Thanks. Good night. Thanks for coming to visit me today, Sam.
It was nothing. On the contrary, I'm sorry to have bothered you.
But still, I was so surprised. One more week, huh?
Sorry to have surprised you. This involves the interests of our clients as well, so I had to ask the department leader to keep quiet for as long as possible.
So that's what was happening.
Well then, I'll visit you again soon.
Got it, thanks.
Hey, Sam. Today for sure I'm going to make you take care of the papers involving the deal with A corporations.
You're pushing your work on me again?
I'm not pushing my work on you. You're involved in this deal with A corporations as well, right?
The work I'm in charge of involves a different deal with A corporations. Besides, someone else took my place yesterday, so I'm no longer in charge of it.
So that means you have less work to do and have all the time in the world.
No, I actually don't.
But these papers are due tomorrow. If you don't take care of these papers by tomorrow, then the company's going to receive a serious blow. You know? Take responsibility and do it all for me, will you?
If that's the case, I'll just do all the work I'm in charge of.
Huh?
I told you, the other project involving A corporations I was in charge of was taken on by someone else, right? I got questions from the person who was newly put in charge. So once I answer these questions, the work I have to do involving this matter will be done.
Sam, are you sure you want to say these things to me? My father is a senior director manager of this company. You know? You know what I'm trying to say, right?
I'm leaving this company today.
Yep, that's right. You don't want to have to leave this company after being fired, right?
Thanks for everything up until now. Excuse me then.
If you want to continue working in this company, then hurry up and do the work and submit it by tomorrow. I'm going to put a USB with the necessary information on your desk. All right? Hey, Sam! Hey! Why did you just... The papers I told you to take care of yesterday! When I came for work today, the papers were in the same state as they were yesterday, when I left them on your desk.
Good morning, Alan. You're already at the office? You're quite early.
These papers were due today. What are you going to do about this? Come to the office right now and do your job.
Didn't I tell you yesterday that I was quitting the company?
Huh?
Even before that, wasn't there a message on the company chat saying that I would be quitting yesterday?
What? The company chat?
Don't tell me you didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
I see. Doesn't the company tell employees to check the company chat at least once a day?
Who cares about that right now? What are you going to do about these papers? There's no way I can finish these by the deadline.
It's no use asking me for advice. I no longer work at that company. Shouldn't you tell your superiors about the situation first and ask them what to do? The data you have to organize should already be partly complete since you made Alice do it, right? You'll just have to ask one of the other employees with the skills to complete it to do the job.
That's not going to work.
What?
If I save data from the cloud, from Alice's computer, then everyone will find out that I'm not the one who did it. Which is why we shared data using USB sticks. But, as I was panicking earlier, I dropped one of the USB sticks and stepped on it. And now it's in pieces.
Oh. The fact that you're panicking over that must mean that you didn't save the latest version to the cloud or something. Am I right?
The version saved to the cloud was made 1 month ago. I was too lazy to update it. The newest version I saved to the USB stick.
The one you stepped on.
Shit.
What a mess you've made.
Do something about it, please. Didn't I tell you to take care of this yesterday? This means that it was your responsibility.
I already told you. I quit yesterday. So there's no use making me do the work anymore.
You're lying. You said you'd do what I said because you don't want to lose your job.
Why don't you go over the conversation we had yesterday one more time?
Why?
When I said I'm going to quit today, you seem to have misunderstood me. Which means that the conversation we had after that was nonsense.
Huh? Seriously, Alice isn't here either, so what am I supposed to do about this?
I already told you. Tell your superiors about the situation and ask them what to do.
But if I do that, it'll look like I made a mistake.
But you did make a mistake, right?
Give me your email address.
What?
I'll give you the data I saved to the cloud 1 month ago. So take care of it before the deadline.
That's impossible.
You'll do it even if it's impossible.
No, I won't.
Did you forget that my father is a senior director manager of this company?
Do you still not understand that that threat has zero effect on me now that I don't work there anymore?
Huh? Oh, that's right. I know. I'll bring a laptop to Alice's hospital room and make her do the work.
If you attempt anything like that, I'll do everything I can to stop you.
What? Why would you do such a thing?
Because Alice is my girlfriend.
What? Your girlfriend? Since when?
We only started going out 3 days ago, but I'll protect her no matter what.
Wait, if you think about this carefully, that makes no sense. Going out with a man who quit his job and is currently unemployed? No way that's true. Even Alice isn't that dumb, I think. At least try to come up with a better lie if you're going to lie.
I'm not unemployed. I've already decided where I'm going to be working next.
I see. It's probably no company of importance.
It's A Corporations.
What?
Can I go now?
Wait, hold on. You changed jobs to A Corporations? Which means that everyone will find out about me, accidentally destroying the data that was supposed to be turned in today? Quit your job there right now. Come back to this company and make it as if you made a mistake.
I didn't intend on saying this, but the next CEO of A Corporations is a friend of mine.
Huh?
I changed jobs because my friend recognized my skill in making schedules. So he wants to make me his secretary when he becomes the CEO.
What?
You wouldn't listen to me, so I decided to tell you. Do you understand now that you've made a huge mistake and you won't be able to get out of it?
What? No way. This can't be true. No way. Seriously?
Goodbye. That being the case, the fact that the data that was supposed to be turned in that day was destroyed became known to everyone involved. As soon as everyone was about to give up, Alice saved the day by revealing that she had been saving the data to the cloud regularly. They were able to restart with the most recent data she had saved a week earlier. They were able to turn it in 2 days after the original deadline. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief, which is how Alan probably wanted the story to end. Unfortunately for him, though, his father was accused of being partly responsible for this incident. And as punishment, he was demoted from his position as senior director manager. Alan himself, of course, was fired. The relationship between the father and son ended there. And Alan, who had been living in his parents' house until then, was thrown out. He found a job at a factory that came with a housing in a nearby town. But one of his colleagues was injured because of him, and he was fired again. After that, there have been eyewitnesses saying that they saw him sleeping at a park. But where he is and what he's currently doing exactly is unknown.
I just got home. It seems you're not at home. Are you still out? Yeah, it's going to take a little longer. I'm out shopping for clothes. I see. Then I'll wait for you at home. Sorry. I thought you would be eating dinner with your parents, so I took my time shopping. I didn't think you'd be back so soon. That was the plan, but my mom said she has to get up early tomorrow. Plus, the weather started to get bad, so we broke up early. The weather is bad now? It was sunny around noon. Didn't you notice? It's pouring rain, and there's a typhoon-like wind blowing. I see. I didn't notice because I've been inside a building all the time. It seems to be getting worse, so I decided to go home and postpone the meal for another time. That must have been disappointing. But you were able to see the kabuki as planned, right? Did you enjoy it? Yes, both of them looked really happy. They also seemed satisfied with the eel we ate for lunch. It was a bit expensive, but it was worth it. Eel, huh? Did you go to a long-established restaurant? Yes, indeed. I had researched a restaurant where we could eat delicious eel. They were really happy. You're great, you know. What is? You regularly do something for your parents. It seems like you often send delicious things to my parents as well. Everyone must be pleased. You really are thoughtful. We have to express our gratitude to those who take care of us, to both my parents and your mother and father. If that makes them happy, it makes me happy too. I'm not that thoughtful though. I only think about myself. Well, why don't you occasionally take them on a trip or something? Your mother-in-law and father-in-law would be delighted. You said you've never traveled with your parents, right? Well, that's true, but I might pass on that. Why so? It would be nice to have your first family trip. I feel lazy about traveling with my parents. And it's embarrassing.
It's purely a gift. In extreme terms, you don't have to enjoy it that much. The purpose is to make them enjoy it.
But imagine giving a trip as a gift out of the blue. I'd be teased. What's the sudden idea?
Really? But who cares if you are?
That's not good. It might be fine for a daughter, but for a son, it's embarrassing to do such things.
I don't think it matters whether you're a son or a daughter. If you're embarrassed, should I say, that we're giving them a trip as a gift.
But, well, we'll consider a trip at some point. Making reservations and such is a hassle.
Oh, stop being so lazy. You never know if your parents will be there when you want to show your filial piety.
Well, that's true. If I feel like it.
Our parents are getting old, you know. Right now, both sets of parents are healthy, but if they get sick, their strengths will decrease. By the time you start talking about such things, it might not be a situation where you can go on a trip.
I know. I'll think about it.
I'm going to take a half day off and go to my parents' house this afternoon. I don't think I'll make it back for dinner, so could you sort it out yourself?
Your parents' house? What happened? Did something happen?
My dad has been hospitalized.
Why? Injury? Illness?
He felt bad last night and seems to have gone to the emergency room, and he was admitted. I'm surprised that my energetic dad is in the hospital.
So? Is your dad okay?
It seems he's okay for now. He can be discharged in 2 to 3 weeks.
That's a relief. I was surprised.
There's no life-threatening situation and probably no after effects, but I'm going to visit him anyway. I want to see him and reassure myself.
I don't think I can get the day off today. I won't be able to visit after work, right?
That's fine. It's not a life-threatening illness. We'll go together on the next holiday.
But I'm sorry. Please convey my regards.
Got it. Oh, by the way, I think I'm going to be commuting to my parents' house for a while until my dad is discharged. My mom can't drive, right? The hospital he's admitted to is far away, so it seems hard for her to visit.
That's tough. I don't mind. Is your part-time job okay?
When I discussed it, they said it was fine to finish at 2 p.m. for a while. In exchange, I have to start earlier in the morning.
It's good that your workplace is flexible.
It's because it's a part-time job. But I might neglect housework because of the hospital visits. Sorry.
It can't be helped. But the timing is a bit off.
Timing? Did something happen?
Actually, I was thinking of taking my parents on a trip soon.
Really?
I was thinking of taking them on an overseas trip, but it overlaps with the timing of your dad's hospitalization.
That's sudden. And it's overseas?
If we miss the time, my parents will get busy and won't be able to go. So if we're going overseas, now is the only time, which is why I decided in a hurry. But I never imagined your dad would be hospitalized. It's disrespectful to go on a trip at such a time.
But you finally decided to take them on a trip, right? You were saying it's a hassle.
Yeah, you said it too, didn't you? You never know when you can show your filial piety.
You did say that.
Those words crossed my mind. In fact, hearing about your dad like this makes me realize it. There's no such thing as a person who never gets sick, and life is unpredictable.
That's true. If we miss this chance, we may never get to go.
We don't know when my parents might collapse. Even your dad, who loves mountain climbing and is so energetic, gets sick. If it happens to my parents, they might lose the strength to go on a trip once they get sick.
That might be true. Go ahead without worrying about us. I can't go, but it should be enough if you go with them.
Are you sure? I could let my parents travel alone, but...
If it's just the two of them going overseas, they'll be anxious. You should go with them. My father isn't that serious, so you don't have to worry about us.
That's great, thank you. Then I'll go. I'll buy lots of souvenirs.
A family trip overseas sounds wonderful. It'll surely be a good memory. Please make sure your mother-in-law and father-in-law have a lot of fun. You know,
my father passed away. What? Your father? Why? He deteriorated suddenly this morning. By the time my mother and I rushed there, he was already... What? This is too sudden. We're all disoriented. Are you okay? Keep your composure. How's your mom doing? She was frantic just a while ago, but she's calmed down considerably now. She seems to be contacting the funeral home. I have to start notifying relatives. This is too sudden. I thought he would be discharged in 2 to 3 weeks. Yes, so the funeral will likely be the day after tomorrow. Can you come back? No, it'll be difficult. The flight time is over 10 hours and the weather has been bad for the past few days. I hear that the flights have been cancelled. Even getting a ticket might be doubtful, so I don't think I can return anytime soon. So you can't make it to the funeral? I guess. I'm sorry. I see. Well, it can't be helped. You're overseas, and if the planes are cancelled, you can't rush back. It must be unnerving to be with your mom alone. It's sudden. We're likely to get a lot of help from relatives here, so it'll be okay. I have a cousin who works at a funeral home, so we can probably get a lot of advice. I see. Well, that's a relief. This ruins the trip, huh? Sorry to put a damper on your good mood. No, I'm the one who's sorry. I'm really sorry that I can't be there for you in this difficult time. I shouldn't have gone on a trip. But I'll do my best to come back as soon as possible. This was something that no one could have predicted. But I feel sorry for your father. I wasn't there in his last moments, and I can't even attend his funeral. It can't be helped. Because until yesterday, my father was fine. Everyone thought he would be discharged, just as the doctor said. I can't believe things like this happen. Really, you never know what will happen in life. That's right. That's why I think you were right to go on the trip. We've learned the hard way that we never know what's going to happen. Maybe. If something happened to my parents in the future and I hadn't taken them on the trip, I might have regretted it for the rest of my life. At least I was able to do some filial piety with this trip. You're right. I'm glad we went on the trip. Are you okay over there? I'm sorry I couldn't make it to the funeral. It's okay. The funeral went well thanks to the help from our relatives. I need to thank the relatives who helped us. Yes, be sure to express our gratitude. Oh, I was finally able to get a ticket. It seems the planes are moving again. I'll be back on the first flight tomorrow morning. I'll also help with the procedures afterwards. What? You got a ticket? No, don't come back. Please continue your trip. Hey, what are you talking about? You don't have to worry about that. I couldn't even attend the funeral, so I'm coming back right away. I'm not trying to spare your feelings. I'm seriously saying you don't have to come back. Huh? What's wrong? What do you mean I don't have to come back? Are you angry about something? There's no place for a guy who's enjoying an affair trip to come back. What? An affair trip? What's that about? You're having an affair with Grace, who was your classmate in middle school, aren't you? Is an affair trip between married people fun? No. Seriously, what are you talking about? What kind of filial piety is that? You're such a liar. I can't believe you can tell such a lie. It's not a lie. Really? Then why were your father and mother at my father's funeral? What? They attended the funeral, both of your parents. What? Why? That's my line. When I asked them about the trip, both of them were stunned. They said they hadn't been proposed any trip. Hold on a second. Why were my parents at the funeral? Did you think I wouldn't know unless you told me? You're out of luck. Your parents heard about my father's death from an acquaintance. We've known each other since childhood, and we have many mutual friends. They must have heard from someone even if we didn't contact them. Really? It's not really. You need to explain first. Why, about Grace? I checked your tablet, and there I could confirm the reservation details on the travel site's My Page, and Grace's name was written under the traveler's name. The password? It was saved in the browser. These days are so convenient. I see. You can't deny it anymore, can you? Exactly. Grace's parents also know about the affair trip. No way, why? There were friends who were mutual between Grace and me at the funeral. I asked them for Grace's parents' phone number, so I reported it to them. Grace is also married, so it's hard for her too, right? Tell that stupid woman there that her husband found out about the affair trip. Are you listening? Grace's parents have contacted Grace's husband, so you guys are already exposed. What about my parents? They're furious. They apologized to me in tears. Making your parents bow their heads instead of being filial. Aren't you ashamed? You're truly pathetic. No, that's because I never thought it would be exposed. So, if it wasn't exposed, it's okay to betray someone. You're truly the worst. Really, you don't have to come back. Or rather, can you come back? The story of your affair trip is already spreading. Spreading? To what extent? Throughout our hometown. It seems like all the friends and relatives who came to the funeral are talking about it. This is the worst. What? The worst is on my side. My father died suddenly. And on top of that, my husband ditched his funeral and was having an affair. And he even lied to me in the worst way possible. So many shocking things have happened in succession that it doesn't feel real. I'm sorry, but I was planning to come back. Just that the plane. I'm really sorry. That's also a lie. I checked about your local airport and there were no canceled flights. Huh? You checked? Of course. You weren't unable to come back immediately, you just didn't want to come back. You didn't want to interrupt your trip. It's not like that. I had a high-end dinner reservation on the day of the funeral. It was a restaurant that was hard to book. I thought it would be a waste to cancel. So the dinner was more important than my father's funeral? You're really the worst. I'll prepare the divorce papers here. Please take your time. Divorce papers. Let's calm down a little. Once the trip is over, the fun time is over. Be prepared. I'm sorry I lied. But for me, it was meant to be the last memory. Huh? I was planning to break up with Grace. I thought having an affair was wrong, but I wanted to create a last memory. What are you trying to say, like it's a beautiful story? It's disgusting. What do you mean, the last memory? We're the ones who were going to break up. I'm really sorry for missing the funeral. You're a liar. It's not a lie. I didn't expect your father to pass away. So I didn't think something like this would happen. My father's death and your affair have nothing to do with each other. Either way, divorce is divorce. Wait. Please spare me that. I don't want to break up. Oh, is that so? Is that also a lie? No. This is my true feelings. I don't want to divorce you. Until yesterday, I didn't think I wanted to divorce you either. But now, all I can think about is wanting to divorce. Maybe my dad was trying to tell me to dump you. Really, you never know what will happen in life. After that, a family meeting was held involving both our families as soon as my husband returned from overseas. It was more like a trial than a meeting. Even though the funeral was over, my husband remained in a funerally mode throughout. Apparently, his affair partner also had a big argument with her husband after she returned. As I had declared to my husband, I choose to divorce him and received compensation from him. Of course, from his affair partner as well. Thus, both our marriage and the affair partner's marriage ended in divorce. The incident where my husband and his affair partner skipped my father's funeral for their affair trip became infamous in our hometown. The two of them were ridiculed and gossiped about just walking around town, and even got lectured by elderly people they passed on the street. With all these incidents, they eventually disappeared from our hometown. I have no idea what they are doing or where they are now. I feel like my father revealed my husband's affair for me. After the sudden loss of my father, the revelation of the affair further drained me. Now that things with my husband are settled, I plan to mourn my father in peace.